Welcome to Geek Tech Live. I'm your host, Chris, and in this episode we're going to talk about the MyBook Live. We're also demoing for you right now, under these extremely hot spotlights, the Hero 3 Silver and its ability to not only give you 1080p and 30 frames a second video, crisp video that you can obviously see is extremely wide angle, but also extraordinarily good video and audio for audio for your money. The Hero 3 is, I believe I spent $300 for it. I like to find things that are multitaskers and are not single taskers, to quote Elton Brown. And with the Hero 3 and the fact that it's a GoPro, you get an underwater case. You can use it while scuba diving or snorkeling or what have you, as well as just making a YouTube video like I am. The Hero 2, which I also own, has horrible audio. In fact, in most cases, any videos I took with the Hero 2, the audio track I just dropped and either left it as silence or put in some form of audio, music or some sort of background tune to try to keep the people, interested in the video itself. I was a little skeptical at first, and after doing a couple of tests, the Hero 3 has extraordinarily good audio for its size and what you pay for it. I also like the fact that you can put it in its little waterproof container and strap it to the side of a car, or put it on your head and go scuba diving, or do a whole bunch of different things with it. The Hero 3 is a much better camera than the Hero 2, and frankly, if you're looking at any of those and you're trying to decide which one you want to buy, I would hesitate to say that anybody that's listening to this show is going to need the Hero 3 Black Edition. It's just not something, all the extra things that I would be able to get out of it, I'm never going to probably use. And frankly, until YouTube really goes 2K or 4K with their videos, and even if they do, really most people are going to probably watch this episode in 720p, and I'm recording this in 1080p, so it's really kind of a lost cause if you ask me. Let's move on to what we really were actually wanting to talk about in this episode, and that's the Western Digital MyBook Live. Alright, so the MyBook Live by Western Digital, and very easy to use setup and configuration. If you're looking for 2 terabytes or 3 terabytes or just 1 terabyte of network attached storage, and you have an extra port on your switch or your cable modem, as long as you have an extra port and an Ethernet cable, you can be up and running in under 5 minutes. I'm not kidding you. You plug it in, it boots up, it finds your network, it gets an IP address, and immediately you can see it on the network. There's a couple of setups that you can do after that. You can configure it in a multitude of different ways. You can share out new and different folders. You can give specific people access to specific folders as well. It actually has a lot of very good and interesting things you can do with this for the price point. For 2 terabytes, I spent a little under $200, all in tax and everything included. I really, so far, have seen a very good performance out of it. The caveats to this, I would also say, are it's only a single disk drive. I have one 2 terabyte drive in here, and frankly, if the drive fails, you're going to lose everything that you wanted to save. That being said, if you want redundancy and you want something that'll be able to recover in case you have a problem, you have 2 choices. You either spend a lot more money and get something with 2 drives that it's at least a mirrored copy of the space, or you back up all of your files to something online. I use CrashPlan, I used to use Carbonite, I used to use Mozy. They're all basically the same. CrashPlan is seemingly one of the cheaper ones, and if you just want your files off-site, they're the best bang for the buck, if you ask me. Now, the other thing I also would say, and maybe you're going to find more use of it than I did, is they have a WD Go app that you can use on your iPhone. You can also hook it up with your MyBook Live and be able to get to your files over the internet. If you're going to have 2 terabytes worth of files, whether that be music or photos, that's a lot of information to be streaming over your internet pipe, unless you're paying a lot of money for symmetrical internet bandwidth, which probably most of you aren't. So if you want to use it, it seems like it's very interesting and easy to use. If you don't, you can be like me and basically say, meh, I'm not going to set it up. So outside of that, it basically has a web front end. You can go through and set it up in about under 2 minutes. It's a very easy thing, and unfortunately there's not a lot to talk about, which I'm kind of running out of things. If you're looking for a little extra space and you don't want to hook it up directly via USB 2.0 or 3.0 to your machine, you don't want to use FireWire, and you want it accessible to Mac and Windows devices, look at something like this. There is a Seagate, new Seagate NAS device, network attached storage device, that is similar to the MyBook Live. They're very, very new, and I'm a little skeptical of brand new tech that I haven't even been able to see anybody else review and even look at. It was only out for about a month or so at the time I bought this, so I'm a little skeptical at that, and that's why I basically went with the Western Digital. The other reason is the fact that I've used Western Digitals at my work, and they seem to last. Take that for what it's worth, and it really comes down to the support that you're going to get from the company that you're buying them from, and the hardware that the company is using. You can get bad batches of them just as easy as you can get a very decent solid batch of them. I tend to see a lot more solid batches of Western Digitals come through my doors than anything else, and that's why I tended to go with this. I highly recommend it. If you're looking for that, it's very cheap, it's very economical. I also highly recommend the Hero 3 Silver Edition. Basically everything that you're seeing here, well, you're not seeing the Hero 3, but you could, you're looking at about $400 total, all in. The Hero 3 is about 200-ish and change, and the MyBook Live was about 170-ish or so when I bought it. Not on sale even. So you might be able to even get a better deal with it. It's been at least a few weeks since I bought the Western Digital, and we're using it. So, well, that was it for this episode of Geek Tech Live. I've been Chris, your host. You can find me on Twitter at Geek Tech Live. You can also find me at Facebook at Geek Tech Live as well. Until next time, we'll be talking about hopefully some other really new things, maybe some photography stuff as well.